my mum.
Your mother. Your mother.
I'm scared, Paul. I'm really scared. It
says we're live again.
Oh, not again.
They let us back to do this craziness one more time.
What are they doing?
The adverts have started at least, so we've got 18 seconds of that rubbish first.
Have we? So I can't swear, though, can I?
Yeah, Davina territory. Do not say. Good evening, everyone out there in the craziness that is YouTube land. My name's James Ivey.
I'm Paul Drew.
And we are 2/3 of the Studio Rats. But you probably.
Where is Dan?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him for ages.
I think he's.
Has he left us and not told us?
I don't know. Dan, if you're watching.
We love you.
If you're watching, let us know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I can see the comments because I'm.
We should do a base one, but maybe that would get us even less, less people.
Oh, meow, meow.
Oh.
Good evening, everyone out there. Tonight we are talking about all things guitar, recording it, playing it, writing for it, all the normal stuff. Yeah. I'm quite concerned that I actually can't see.
Mike can't hear me.
Mike can't hear you.
Apparently, Mike can't. Mike, can you hear me now? Hear me now?
Okay. Why is that then?
This might not be bad because I'm going to be doing some playing later on, so it's probably best that I'm muted.
Okay. Now I'm. Paul's. Hang on, that's weird.
Paul's very quiet. Paul is very quiet. Thank you, Anthony.
He's very quiet, or he's too quiet.
Paul, you're inaudible.
Can you?
Capitals even.
Where are you reading this? Because I can't see any of these things.
This is on the chat.
Is it live chat? Ah, here we go. Yes.
Bear with us for a second.
Sorry. Once again, we are trying something different, so bear with us. Actually, Paul, just play some guitar.
Okay. Can everyone hear the guitar?
Can you hear the guitar?
Can you hear the guitar?
Uh,
Look, I mean, it's at every gig. What's this? James is super present. Paul's voice and guitar are both distant. What is going on?
Okay, so just
Give
as
us a couple of seconds, guys.
bear with
Yes,
us.
but the guitar's still quiet. So
The guitar is quiet. Okay, so
hold on. Can I boost it here? Let me boost everything.
hang on a sec.
Hold on, James. Turn me down. Turn me down.
Hang on. I need to turn on my ears first. Hang on, I'll do that. Right, try that.
Is that any better, guys?
Is he on?
Oh, it's a pleasure, John. Right, can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me? Not really.
Ah. Okay, I think I've now. I think I've worked out why we can't hear you. Can
Why
you?
is that?
Because I can only just hear. Okay. Let me have a think about how to do this, because so you're hitting the stream really hard as well. This is what I. Yeah, just speak to me again.
Hello, 1 2 1 2. But 1 2.
Full Skype. This is really
What
bizarre.
happens when you spend all afternoon getting ready for this?
Yeah.
Still something doesn't work.
I'm really confused because
Anthony,
I can hear you.
just turn me up on the desk.
Yeah, but then I can do that, but all your guitar levels will then be really, really, really loud as well. I mean, really super loud.
What, to you or to everyone else?
How's that to the world? How's that to the outside world?
Hold on.
That's better, someone says. We like that. Okay.
Hey, great, we're in
Excellent.
business now.
Okay.
Right, so someone, Mike Ayton, if you don't mind just replying, just make sure you can hear my guitar and my voice.
Hearing noise modulation. Yes, thanks, Mike. That's called the internet.
Noise modulation. Little better.
little better, but
Okay.
very distant, foggy.
The guitar sound is better. Well,
better.
that's all that matters, isn't it?
Well, can you
It's just
turn
the
can you
guitar,
turn
that's all
your
that
can you turn your mic up a little bit?
I can turn my microphone up. Yes. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. This is
We're doing this with absolutely no technical ability whatsoever.
1, 2, but 1, 2. How's that? Is that any better?
How's that to the world?
But how's that, everyone?
James, you can turn yourself down. That might be good. I think I can. Oh, hello. How's that? Better, Paul. Yeah, thank you, Renato.
Okay. How about? So the guitar's all right, is it? Guitar's all right. And can we start?
I think we can probably start.
Everyone's saying better. Music expert.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Exactly, YouTube
Yeah,
rookies.
definitely not. Definitely, yeah.
I'm
Definitely
pretty sure if we
YouTube
threw a lot of money at this, we could probably still achieve the same levels of patheticness. But hey,
Possibly.
so thank you for bearing with us out there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about all things guitar. Thanks, Mike. We're getting there. We're going to go with it and see what happens. See what we can break. Quite frankly, I'm just going to have a quick look at this, see where this is coming from, quickly. Property. It's yeah.
Yeah, Renato, the thing is, James is controlling everything. That's why James sounds good. So James got like the James has just got the bad button he pushes on me. So he sounds amazing.
It's the DFA button, mate. It's always
the DFA button.
DFA button. I'll bring myself down a little bit. I'll bring the whole thing up. Let's go with it. Okay,
Yeah,
so thank you for bearing with us. We're going to talk about all things guitars. So yes, let's go with it. And Paul, we thought we would start saying like we did for me last week, talking about all things drums. Let's talk about all things guitars, and then we'll come on to my guitar rig as well a little bit later on. But tell us about your rig, your setup, what you can and can't do, what you find yourself having to do fairly often. So, like, you know, I know we've talked before about clean DIs and things like that, but yeah, discuss basically from when it leaves the axe in your hands, where does it go and how do we get it? And if you want to then go onto the second camera or your screen cap at any point, let me know and I can show you what I can make sure.
Well, shall I do that? Shall I put down the guitar for a second, and I'll lift up the second camera?
Yeah.
And we'll take everyone around the riggage.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay.
So let me just go over to the second camera, and we're over there now.
So I've got like a bunch of different amplifiers that I use, and this includes the Boss Katana, which we're going to go through everything in a minute anyway. But the bottom, as you'll see down here, that's a Mesa Boogie single rectifier. Now it's great for like rock stuff. A lot of people say it's just for metal, and it's definitely not just for metal. It's got some great tones in it. Above that is a divided by 13 RSA 23, which is, if anyone knows Tim Pierce, it's Tim Pierce's favourite amp. That's probably why I bought it. He's got a bit of a man crush on Tim Pierce. And above that, can you see the Rev? I don't know if you can see that in your camera. Okay, above that is a REXX D20, which is a fantastic little small wattage amp that sounds amazing. And then over here,
You might see another one of those in a minute.
yeah, you got one of those. And over here is a Synergy SYN30. And basically, the thing about the Synergy, I'll just do this, is it has these little screws here. And it has these hot swappable preamps that you can swap in and out. And that is quite hot, to be honest. Oh.
Should you technically be doing it live? I know they're hot swappable.
Yeah, it's alright. It did just go off. And then, right, I've got this thing called a Kahayan switcher. Now this thing here, can you see that?
Yeah, we can just about.
Okay, that is an amp switcher. So what I can do is I can switch each of my amplifiers in and out and have them go to my various load boxes. Or the speaker.
Nice. Just the one speaker?
Well, yeah, that's got two speakers in it. I've got another speaker down there, but that's mainly what I use. But mainly when I'm recording, I do all my recording through either a 2 notes torpedo a Universal Audio aux box or a Boss tube amp expander.
Sweet.
Aye. So, do you want to hear some
noise? Make some noises.
Okay. Well, this is a Katana. Then, if I want to, can you see all the amps again? I can come out of there. Now, what you can do with the amp switcher, you're supposed to plug into the front of the amp switcher and then select all of the different amplifiers from that. But to be honest, I don't like the way that it sounds. I don't think it sounds very good. So I tend to plug straight into my amps. So there's the Synergy.
Nice.
That's a D20. Here's the divided by 13. And as you can see, they all sound different. And lastly, but no means least, is the rectifier. Yeah, so that's the rig, and then all the pedals and stuff that I go into. So questions, let's have a look. D20, great, needs to be brightened up with pedals maybe. Yeah, do you know what, the D20 is quite dark, but I tend to run it quite dark actually, Seffi, so the D20, yes, it is actually the trebles, it's wound back on it.
Apparently,
I was doing a song earlier.
Apparently we're having some issues when we go between different cameras. It's turning my mic on and off, which is a bit weird, and I don't entirely know why, but apparently
it's always something in there.
So can you go back to your normal view?
Hi, I'm there.
There we go. That's where he is.
There we go.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So the microphone. Yes, you're dead right, Renato. The microphone that's in front of me, which is there, is also picking up the sound of the guitar because it's amplifying into that microphone.
That is one.
Not ideal, but
the wonders of actually being able to chat through stuff at the same time.
Right. Okay. Yes. So yeah. And the way that I control all of these amps, obviously, you know, you guys that have got Katanas out there, you get the Katana app, which is fantastic. It's a really great way of being able to manipulate the sounds on the fly. And the Tube Wazza amp expander, which is another Boss product, which is what the valve amps are plugged into, looks really similar to the graphics that control the Katana. So that's that one. And second to last, there's the aux. So you can change.
If you want to do that, you need to put on screen share.
Oh, I do apologise. I've not done that. Oh, this is shocking. Here we go. Okay, I'll start that again. Okay, so yes, so they're all controlled. The valve amplifiers go into these different load boxes. So this is a tube amp expander, really similar to, if you look at, is my screen on, James?
It is on, yeah.
Yeah. The Katana, which is really similar because it's another Boss product. The aux, which is a really fantastic. They really got this right with the aux, about, you know, how it controls the sound and the graphics and everything. It's brilliant. And last of all, the 2 Notes Torpedo. All there.
Sweet, very cool.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. So. Okay, guys. I think what we're gonna have to do is to stop worrying about the sound now, unless you can't hear us. The sound's not going to be perfect, so let's just move on, because I think we're not going to get anywhere with it. Okay, Paul, do you use the mic with the Mesa cab for guitar recording? So, Maracha, I haven't got a Mesa cab. I've got a divided by 13 cab, and yes, I do. So, what me and James are going to talk about tonight is the microphones that we use for this,
Paul, turn
because
the screen share off, because we've got a screen within a screen within a screen.
How's that?
There we go. Lovely.
Hey, screen with the screen. So, yes. So yes. I do use a microphone with the cab. Me and James, or I use a Antelope Audio Duo. Is that right, James?
It's a Edge Duo.
Edge Duo,
yeah.
Which is this. Oh no, I'm not going to show you because we're going to mess up with cameras and stuff. Yeah, the Edge Duo, which is a modelling mic. So
hang on a second. Keep talking. I will show them. I have one here.
Okay, yeah, cool. That'd be good. Yeah, you show them. So basically, what you can do with this, you can stick this microphone in front of your guitar speaker. I mean, it hasn't even got a big guitar speaker. It's a great all-round microphone. And then you can change the mic models in software. So basically, you get all of these different mic models and different sounds, and it just means you can have one microphone set up and completely change the sound of your guitar amp. And it's a brilliant mic, and it sounds great.
And here it is. This is it.
And there it is. What's the Mesa like clean? I can show you. The Mesa clean sounds like this. Let's go that, and let's do this. The Mesa clean sounds like this. Can you hear that? Yeah, the Mesa, the boogies are really versatile. The rectifiers, and because they were known as the 90s metal amp or the 90s rock amp, they got that name, and they just became extremely cheap for what they are. I mean, if you think of like if you went out and bought one of these amps, they're probably about £2,500, and you can buy a rectifier now probably for about 500 quid, and it's an absolute bargain because they're really versatile. If I stick like a booster pedal in front of it, yeah, really versatile. Great amp.
Okay, I think I have fixed our sonic issues.
Hey, what is it? What's the problem?
Each camera state, if you like, has its own set of input and output stuff, and there was no input into your second camera.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay.
So Zoom cam
Sorted.
will need to have some of that as well, and I will do that.
What I was hoping for today, because I keep getting lots of questions on the Boss Katana advert, the Boss Katana videos that I do. So if anyone has any Katana questions, I'd be happy to answer, you know, all sort of questions in this, because it's the thing is, when we do these videos, we end up getting like hundreds of comments, and I don't have the time to answer all of the questions. So if anyone has got any questions, ask away.
Nothing so
Do you
far.
want to talk about your setup?
Yes, I can talk about my rig a little bit.
Yeah.
So let me go on to Zoom cam, because I can, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if I do this,
You can still hear me, and I'm sure someone will let me know if they can't. But it says it's on. So.
Oh, look at that.
What's that? Yes, that's me. Hello, everyone. Right, so on to handheld cam. My guitar rig is actually not that dissimilar to Paul's. I've got a few toys to play with. I'm quiet, apparently. I can... first time that's ever been said about me, to be honest. I can do that a little bit. Right, so... I also have a REXX D20 because I was after an amp that played nicely with pedals. Before I thought I could get a D20, I bought one of these, which is a little PV Classic 20, because it was really cheap, and I thought, if I'm going to get an amp that's half decent for pedals, I'll get one of these. And actually I've kept it because it does sound really, really good. It's not super bright or super dirty or anything. It's just quite a good sounding country amp, if you like.
James, apparently you're barely audible now. Sorry, mate. I don't know what's going on.
There's a first time for everything. zoom down. Come on. Let me put-
Great, we're getting some Katana questions in. It's good.
Right, how about now? That should be better.
Okay, that's a great question, Sephi.
Right, so anyway, so I've got the D20, which I use as my kind of pedal platform. The Classic 20, which gets used once every so often, but actually does sound really cool. But this baby is my fave. This is my Chandler GAV19T. It's hand-wired, handmade, hand-built. There's no master volume on it. It is, you get what you are given from this thing. It's absolutely killer. Now, mine all runs through this thing, a KHE electronics amp switcher, because I've only got 4 amps, and I think yours does 8, doesn't it, Paul? 8 amps.
Yeah, it
8
does,
amps,
yeah.
4 cabs. Mine does 4 amps and 2 cabs.
Oh, so just to stop you there, I had a question on that, but yeah, go on. It'll come back to me. Go on, keep going. Sorry, mate.
And then down here, I have my ever faithful, ever trusty 11 rack, which I absolutely adore. And it's just ace, and it has always worked. And I think this is one of the first ones to come into the UK, because I basically begged and borrowed and stole from Ivey to get the thing. And it's awesome. And then that lot, depending on how I run it, either goes straight to the console, or it goes through that beastie over there.
What's that?
There, that is the Grossmann cabinet.
Are you going to show everyone that?
I'm
Gone,
gonna
this is great, this.
Show everyone my Grossmann quiet cab.
And I know it's great because it used to be mine.
I know the 2 notes is good because that used to be mine. So
you see this big white box, this big sort of, it looks like
thing.
James's potty.
It looks like a fridge. It's not a fridge. This is a Grossmann quiet cab. I think that's what they call it, isn't it? Well, it is now. And
You going to lift it?
I'm going to lift it when I sort my umbilical cord out. Right, this is actually quite a weighty beast to lift up. And in there are my 2 favourite guitar microphones. The Sontronics Corona and the Royer R10. So I've got a dynamic and a ribbon in there. And you can see how they're positioned over the cabinet or over the cone. Not on off axis a little bit. They're fab. Now, the real proof of the pudding in this thing, and I get the feeling it's not going to be quite so obvious. I'm going to put you up there, and is that kind of pointing roughly in the right direction? Looks like it is. Yeah. I am going to just set up an amp. We're going into the amp. Yes. I'm going to play a guitar chord. Let's make something nasty and squealy. Let's just boost it up a little bit and go like that. So I go.
Oh my gosh!
But this is when it gets impressive. And there it was, gone.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
So now
it's a great.
I can noodle away to my heart's content in here, or say I can drive these rather lovely kind of little lunchboxy style amps fairly hard, get a really cool noise. And it just sounds absolutely kicking.
Awesome. Should we do some just so we keep just so we don't lose all the questions? Should we do some more questions and then move on with what you're doing?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Let's have a look. Can you describe what you prefer about each amp? Yes. Okay. So I can do my amps, and James could possibly do his.
Yeah.
So I tend to do quite a lot of layering when I'm recording, because my job is a music producer. So I do when I'm layering guitars, I tend to use a lot of different amps. So every amp sounds different. They've all got different valves actually. Actually, no, that's a lie. So the Mesa Boogie is 6L6s. The divided by 13 is, what are the big ones that used to be in the? They are the big old valves. The ones that used to be in high watts.
Yeah, the big.
The funny shaped ones.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Those ones.
Anyway, those ones. The D20. Actually, yeah, they've all got different valve types and sets, and they all do sound very different. So when you stack them up, they all, you get lots of separation. So the Boogie's great for the rock stuff, obviously. The divided by 13 is great for slightly distorted, slightly overdriven clean tones. Divided by 13 is a great sort of pedal platform, and the Synergy is, well, you can have different preamps in it. So the one I've got in at the moment is a Dumble Overdrive Special preamp in there. So I can't afford I don't know what Dumbles go for now, probably a couple of £100 grand.
A lot, yeah.
A lot of money. So yes, that's what I like there. The Katana, to be honest, I bought the Katana because I wanted a really light amp to take to gigs, and I started making videos on it, and people started liking the videos, so I kept doing the videos. And the Katana's a great little sounding amp. It's incredibly reasonably priced, sounds great, and it's got loads of effects built in, and yeah, I think it sounds great. It sounds really, really good.
Cool.
Okay, favorite built-in Katana effects. The favorite, that's a good one. Well, there's so many great effects in it. If you ask me about the overdrive, probably the warm overdrive. The best modulation is the Univibe. The pan delay is good, and the plate reverb is really good.
Cool.
Hope that helps. How much can you do on a Katana how much can you not do on a Katana that you can do on a D20?
They're different beasts. They're totally different beasts.
They are different
The
beasts,
the D20 is basically a pedal platform amp. It's a really good clean sounding valve amp that you can juice up a little bit. It'll go distorted, but it won't go. But it does play very nicely with pedals.
Just, yeah, really nice with pedals, isn't it? So
the Katana is basically an amp simulator, effects processor, the whole shebang in one unit, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, the D20. I mean, you know, a valve amp is a valve amp. It's the Katana does sound good, and yes, it's not a valve amp. I mean, I like valve amps. I'm a bit of a valve amp snob, but yeah. Let's have a look. I have tried to record a song using the Katana using the USB cord using GarageBand. When I see the sound waves, it looks so small. Is there a way to fix that, or should I get an audio interface? No, providing you're recording at 24-bit, I wouldn't even worry about it. I mean, just turn up your volume on your amp.
Yeah.
If you really want to get it louder, but don't worry about it. Just boost it in the software if that's what you want to do. Yeah, don't honestly worry about anything now when it comes to using 24-bit.
What it looks like in waveform view makes next to no difference in the real world. It's, you know, as long as it sounds right, that's the important thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
The only time it should be avoided if it hits the top and goes flat, because that means you've clipped the signal, which is not nice.
No, absolutely. So I'm just trying to move you, so I'm not getting distorted. Okay. Would you prefer a JP Mark IIc Mesa over the Rectifier in terms of versatility?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Damn right.
Is it a Mark II? Is that John Petrucci? I thought this was like a Mark V.
No, I think there's a second version of it. There's a second version of the. I thought his was originally based around a Road King, I believe, which I think.
Oh, but the Road King, okay, is. Okay, with the Road, yeah, no, I prefer a Road King. I had a Mark V and I hated it. I sent it back.
It's all fuzz. It's all. If you want to sound like Carlos Santana, fantastic. But any other kind of tone, nah.
Right, excellent. Yeah. I didn't. Mark V. I didn't get on with at all. I thought it sounded. Oh, it was so fiddly. With the thing about the Rectifier is you can dial in a great tone, and the thing about Mesa Boogie amps is if you move the treble, it affects everything. So then you have to go back and you have to adjust everything. It's like a real geek amp, and I mean that in a way that you have to be really fiddly with it. No, the Rectifier is just like dial it in, it's done, it's great. It's like a rock amp. It just sounds like like a hot rodded Marshall.
Good.
Also, would you have gotten the REXX G20 if both were available at the same time? That's interesting.
Yes.
What would you rather?
I'd rather have the I'd rather have the G20. Yeah.
Would you?
I was quite upset when I found out they brought out the G20 a year after bringing out the D. Well, I saw the D20 at NAMM, and then it wasn't available till nearly a year after that.
Yeah, yeah.
I got one, you got one as well, and then they brought the G20 out, and I went, I might have sworn a little bit.
I think personally, if I've got the rectifier, so I don't need the heavier gain sounds. But if the G20 can do what the D20 does, if the G20 sounds as good as the D20 on its clean, just on the verge of breakup, then yes, I'd definitely go for it. Is it 2 channels? I think on the G20 as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, but it's still got.
Yeah, it's quite versatile, isn't it?
The good thing about the Rev though is you've still got the 2 notes technology built in.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I don't actually use it because generally I run all my real amps into the cabinet, into the Grossmann cabinet. Right. If I want to get clever with effects and stuff, I'll use the 11 rack. And actually, I probably will use a real amp for one or 2 tracks on a project. Everything else will come from the 11 rack because it's just quicker.
Right. By the way, 6v6s, no, not 6v6s, they're KT88s. They're massive things.
Yeah.
Huge beasts.
I'll just go with it, mate. I'm going to agree and nod.
Yeah, so G20 over the D20.
Yes, please. I would.
Yeah, maybe. Can you get one in for review, James? Can we get one in?
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
We have the technology. We can do that.
Ah, yes. What's the difference between the R10 and the R121?
It is I believe the capsule, or sorry, they don't call it a capsule, they call it a ribbon motor, is the same, but there's something else in there that they've taken some of the electronics out. The output is generally lower on an R10 than it is on a 121. I don't actually know because, to be honest, I put the two.
Is it like a cheaper version?
It's a cheaper version. It's not a lot cheaper, but it's a good,
right.
700-800 quid cheaper.
That's pretty much. That's quite a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but it's still a 1,000 quid mic, I think.
Well, yeah, okay.
But it's great noise, great sound.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, good mics.
I can actually demo that if you fancy it. I can demo the comparison of the dynamic versus the ribbon. If
you want to hear that, if you want to hear that, send us yes pleases. But while we're waiting for that, hi Matt. When swapping the amps through the switcher, does the output ohms need to match up with the load box speaker cabinet, or does the switcher take care of this? Now I know Matt is looking at a amp switcher, so yes.
The KHE does. It worries.
It does what?
It worries about things like ohmage and resistance and stuff, and it does deal with all those things for you. I would say you do have to be very aware of what you're plugging your amps into. You really have to be aware of what you're doing. For example, all these amps are set to 8 ohms. The KHE runs at 8 ohms quite happily, and the Grossmann it's got an 8 ohm speaker in it. So all is fine for me.
I'm the same. Sorry, I just turned my air conditioning off. I'm exactly the same, to be honest. Everything is set to 8 ohms. I'm not sure you can have something at 6. Well, I'm not sure you can mismatch ohmage with an amp switcher. I think it's always best to be safe, isn't it? No one wants to blow up a transformer. Also,
the Kahayan one is very much a kind of chunk thing, isn't it? It's very much a manual switch. There's quite a lot of electronics in the KHE that's doing soft switching for you. So at no point do you ever get a short, or do you ever get a double load, whatever the equivalent of a short, the opposite of a short is.
Oh right.
There's quite a lot of goodies going on.
Yeah, I think I really like the look of that KHE one. I think it's nice and compact, isn't it?
Yeah, they do an 8x6 as well, or an 8x4 or an 8x6 as well, which is nice.
Same as this.
Yeah,
same as the Kahayan one. Okay.
But it's a lot more money.
Okay.
But Tim Pierce uses the Kahayan. That's why you like it, isn't it?
Phil, hi Paul. Going back to the Boss Katana Engel cab loader video, can you go into a bit more detail about how you connected it up and how you recorded it? Yes. So I took out. There is a line out at the back of the Katana, and that went into the Engel cab loader. and the Engel cab loader went straight into the interface. Have I covered everything? So what you need to do with the Katana is you need to go into, if you've got a Katana Mark II and you haven't got the artist you can do this from the front panel. Excuse me. You need to go into the Katana software and you need to go into System, I think it's called. James, can I switch on my screen?
Yes, you can.
Tell me when you're done.
Go.
Okay. What you need to do is to go into System.
No, I haven't got you yet. I can't see you.
Okay, let me close that.
Screen share.
Okay, here we go. You got me?
I can see me. Hello, me.
Okay. You can see it, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so you need to go into System, go into the line out settings. Now you've got this, you've got these different settings here. You've got Record, Live, and Blend. Now these are probably the worst labelled instructions, whatever, that you can get. So Record is basically your amp sim sort of sound. Live is a DI sort of sound. It's got less of a, it isn't quite as ear piercing as a sort of bee in a jar as a DI, and Blend is a blend of the two. So you want to switch it onto Live and then try it that way. Let's do that. Am I back?
You are back.
Awesomes. Yeah, so do that and you'll be, jobs are good. And let me know if there's anything else that I can help you out with that, if there's any more questions. I may be in the minority here, but what do you run your bass through? There is a question for Dan.
Okay, I can share some love on that as well, but you can talk about it as well. Okay, when Dan is round here recording the bass, we run him into, depending on the track and depending on how fruity we're feeling, he either runs into, and I'll go and get them. I'll get the let me get the little microphone, the little thing on. Oh, I'm all stuck. Pause that. Talk amongst yourselves. Hang on a second. So we're going to go and get the little camera.
Oh, this is all planned. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing while James is doing that. So when I'm recording bass, it goes through one of them, which is a Tech 21 VT bass, which is a Ampeg SVT.
Yeah.
Simulator. It sounds really good. And Dan's got one as well. And
you made Dan buy one. That's all it was, really.
Yeah. Fair dues.
Okay,
really
so for me, hang on, come on,
catch up. We either go through the
Oh, look at this.
Neve 1073 or the API for Dan, and normally I plug him straight in because it has a high impedance input and they both sound great. That then runs in real time through one of my channels of wannabe Pultec or warm Tube EQ.
Mm-hmm.
And it also then runs through the warm what do they call it? The warm WA2A or the LA2A clone, if you will. And that is Dan's bass sound when he's here. And I think it sounds pretty good normally.
Yeah.
And we commit that to tape as well. We actually do. We commit that. We don't faff around with, DIs and direct signals. That's what we get. That's what goes in. So that's what Paul gets to mix with.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, if we're sort of flying by these questions and you want to go into more detail, please let us know. I'm just trying to keep everyone happy and not too, so we don't go into too geeky answers.
We have our moments of getting geeky, that's for sure.
What's that?
We do definitely have our moments of getting overly geeky.
Do you ever, Renato says, do you ever use one guitar sound or do you always combine different amps, magic boxes? I think the sort of productions that I do, there's always layers of guitars. So when I say, I don't record all those guitar parts at once, so I put down, I choose one guitar sound, that gets recorded, then I switch to a different guitar sound and that gets recorded, and different parts have different guitar sound. So there's not like a layer of all the different amps playing at once. I just use different amps for different parts. Hope that makes sense. That makes sense?
Yeah. And another thing that I've noticed that you do is that you will play, for example, in a chord section where the rhythm of the chord part is the same. Say he's going da 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 as a rhythm line. He'll play an open position, a capoed position, a barred position, and an octave position, all playing the same rhythm to make up the greater harmony. So you might have the same notes, but you might have them in with different harmonic contents, because obviously different strings, even though it's the same frequency, will have a different harmonic content, different positions, different everything. It makes up that big fat guitar sound. So the rhythm might just be the same da 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 da, but it's huge, and I like it. It works.
Yeah, excellent, nice one. There's at least two of us. Captain Cortex. There's at least two of us. I don't understand. Okay, that's probably a question to each other. Do you prefer to mic up your Katana or use a record line out if you're playing through a PA into a mixer? Do you know, I've done both actually, Duncan, and I think I prefer to mic it up. If it's a live gig, I would mic it up, and I have mic'd it up. But I have done gigs where I've actually the first gig I did with it was a silent gig where the stage had to be completely silent. The drummer was even using kit. That sounds right.
No, it doesn't. It sounds terrible.
I had to use the line out for that, and I was actually quite impressed with it. If you use a record, as I just showed with the settings, go into the settings and change the line out to record, it sounds great. It sounds great. You know, easily passable for a gig. Is the G20 hotter? Yes. Not in volume, Mike. It's still a 20 watt amp. It's just
there's an extra gain stage in there, isn't there?
Yeah. It's like it sounds like a metal amp, like a boogie. It's it's pretty hot. I don't know how clean it goes. I need to watch some videos on it. I need to get one. We need to get one in.
I'll make a call, as they say.
Yeah, can you do that? Because I'd love to have a go at one.
Yep.
Nice. What improvements do you think could be made to the Katana? That's a really good point. Now, okay, so the improvements that could be made would increase the cost of it. So, I think the amps it sounds amazing. Now, the order of the effects, how you put the effects in. Now, I know there's a way that there is some third-party software that you can use, that you can actually change the order of the effects. So at the moment, let me just James, can I share my screen?
Certainly can.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Say when. Yeah.
And there I am again.
Whoops, that's not the Katana. There we go. So if I go to the chain here, now these are all of the different combinations of order of effects. Now, as you can see, the booster is always at the front. So there's your guitar, and you're going into the booster on every single chain. Right, so the first one goes booster into the amplifier, then the mod, then the effects, the delays, and then the reverb. But what I like to do is to have a compressor before the booster, but you can't do that. Now, you can do if you buy this, if you download this software, but to be honest, the software, it doesn't work, and it isn't very good, keeps crashing. So that's the only thing I wish Boss would do to enable you to change around the effects. So you could even, you know, have the mod before the booster, that sort of stuff. And personally, I think that's about it. I don't like the lead setting and the brown setting. I don't think they're very good. I think you can get really great sounds out of the clean, especially the clean channel, and using a booster. You can get any sound you want, and I think that sounds better than the lead or the brown setting. Done?
Any amp that has a brown
setting really worries me.
Well, I think that their thing was. Hold on, I've lost you. Hold on.
I'm definitely here.
Okay, you're definitely there. Yeah, the thing that they were trying to do was I think do the Eddie Van Halen brown sound,
right,
sort of thing to it. And no, it's all right. It's just like really high. It's really high gain. It's just, I mean, you know, for the metal guys, maybe it's great, but I'm not a metal guitarist, as I've been told on quite a few videos. Yeah, people are brutal on YouTube. There's a lot of nice people, and 99% of the comments are really nice, but there's definitely some strange people out there. Hi Paul, have you accessed the sneaky amps on the Katana? Hold on a second.
There's sneaky amps?
What's a sneaky amps? This is something I don't know about. KT66s, yes, they are KT. I think these are KT88s. Could be wrong, Mike. But yeah. Going back to Andy. Andy, tell us more. What is the sneaky amp? Definitely need to know that. That sounds amazing.
Nice.
Where are we? Oh God, sorry, James, I've lost it.
Various people are asking to hear the microphones on their own.
Yeah, do you want to? Yeah,
we can do that.
Okay, go on. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah,
it's all right. We can do that. So here,
I'd like to hear that.
This is where, of course, the technology does let us down. Paul can't actually hear what I'm playing, which is hilarious. So this is the two together running through my. That's the GAV with a reasonable amount of tilt on it. I can just. There we go.
That sounds great to me. I don't know what.
So
is that using any? Is that just the sound out of the amp?
That is just the amp.
Oh wow!
That is guitar into amp.
Great. Okay. Interesting. I like that.
So this then is just the dynamic. And this is just the ribbon.
Does the ribbon make you play faster? You just played a lot.
But I like the combination of the two, and it's pretty evenly matched.
I wish I could hear it.
It's just, say, a really nice combination. It took me a little while to get them in phase, because obviously you need to get them both lined up. The capsules are both lined up, and get them in a nice place on the cabinet. On the cone, it's vintage 30, isn't it, in there?
Yes, it is a vintage 30, yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah. Sounds really good.
That's the great thing about that as well. It's so easy to swap out the speakers.
Yeah. Someone said a cream back is good as well. I'd never heard of those, but
I've got a cream back. I've got a cream back in my. I can't even think of the British amplifier manufacturer. I've got a cabinet down there.
Right. Nice.
Oh, yeah, screen back. Yeah, sounds really
Cool.
good. Yeah, probably my choice actually. I'd have creambacks over anything.
So yeah, and I've got, as many of you know, I've got a small army of microphones I could put in there. I happen to like that combination. It works for most of what I do. Not all the guitar parts I end up doing are quite so full on. I can dial that back a bit, pull that out, put that in there, and you end up with something a lot more civilized.
What's that?
So not everything that I play is quite so full on. All of a sudden you end up with then that. It's a really nice, good all-round balance of tone, and you can then, if when you're mixing you decide you want more brightness, more ribbon tone, it's really easy and quick to get exactly what you want.
Nice. Okay. I need to know, if I buy one bass for demos, what should I buy? What would you buy? What single bass would you buy?
A Jazz, Fender Jazz.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A Jazz or a Music Master?
Or a Music Man. Yeah, a Music Man Stingray.
Sorry. Yeah.
I want my next
guitar
is going to be a Stingray bass. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
I've got my Yamaha is actually not a bad bass. I mean, that was my first bass was a Yamaha TRB5, and it's a great, totally serviceable unit, but it's not as amazing sounding as a Music Man Stingray. They sound
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I get if you can afford it, get a Stingray. Yeah, I don't think that even second hand. I think you can pick them up quite reasonably. Wire Jazz might just that's just popped up. Wire
It's
Jazz.
it's the classic bass sound.
It's more versatile than a Precision.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
You've got the two pickups. They're single. The original. I can't remember what they're called. The original jazz single coils. But you've got a real diversity of sound between the bridge and the neck pickups. To be honest, I've never found a bass that I don't prefer the sound of. Everything flat, just balanced nicely play.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that.
I very rarely use one or t'other pickup. It's about a nice balance of the two.
Nice. Yeah, it's a shame Dan's not here.
Yeah. That would make my life even more simple, wouldn't it? And a third feed.
Yeah. Okay, hi there, Paul. In a live situation, can the expression pedal be assigned as a volume pedal for the first patch and then for the second patch as a wah? Yes, as far as I know, yeah. Each patch is individual for the settings. And also, if you get like a volume expression pedal like I've got, I'll show you here. These Mission expression pedals, they have two outputs on them. So you can use, then it's got the switch in it like a wah-wah pedal. You can switch in and then it will switch over to the second part of the expression. So you can have like the volume there and then switch it down and then it becomes a wah.
Nice.
You can do that if you've got the GAFC foot controller, which is this thing for the Katana. Then yes, it works, and that also works for the tube amp expander as well, which is the reason why I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, Boss stuff is great, isn't it? Just so good.
Matt Wright is a good one.
Go
on. James, why do you blend or commit the mics during tracking or print them separately? Always print them separately. Always do. Just
Do you?
Yeah, always print them separately because that's the only choice I give myself. Normally, I commit my tones. I'll commit distortion, delays, reverbs. I'll commit all those all on the way in. Modulation, but I will give myself the option because that little tweak, just be able to push the dynamic ahead of the ribbon, can give you that little bit more bite.
Commit,
And commit some more.
Yeah, definitely. I think you jumped ahead of the questions.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yes, we do love our classic hardware. Do you set multiple pedal boards for different purposes, or keep on changing the pedals during workflows? So, this is interesting, Seffi. So, I'm not going to switch over, but I have. So to the right of me, I've got a pedal wall, which is basically a big filing cabinet with Velcro attached to it, that all of my pedals, or the majority of my pedals I use for recording, go on. And it means that I can pull them off and then change them around, swap them around, and use whatever I need at the time. Most are all sort of hardwired, patched in, but that's there. But for live, I have that pedal board which I just brought up, which is quite a simple one. And if I need because I've got a Earthquaker Plumes on there, which is like a Tube Screamer, that sort of pedal. If I want something heavier, I'll just add that on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah.
I've got what's called a FOSS board.
A what board?
A FOSS board.
What's that?
It's made from recycled timber, so it's basically a wooden pedal board. It looks like a pedal train type thing, sort of framed,
Right.
but it's timber, and it's all recycled timber.
Oh, nice.
And they're inexpensive as well. My only problem is that I keep getting more pedals in and change stuff around and mess around with things, and it keeps changing all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, for live, you've got these guys. I mean, pedal boards have gone mental, haven't they?
Hmm.
I mean, I think guys, you got guys that do all the ambient stuff. I don't do many gigs like that, so I don't normally. I think a pedal board for me is a pretty standard overdrive. If the reverb's on the amp, that's fantastic. If not, I take a reverb or a delay, and yeah, I don't sort of go in for that all that sort of ambient stuff, even though I love it in the studio. I think it's perfect in the studio.
I think live, the phrase "keep it simple, stupid" definitely applies.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God, I've jumped. Okay. What? Oh, nasty. Focus has been on amp so far. Can you talk us through your guitars and how? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Yes. So, I've got a load of guitars. I did a video actually. We've both done videos of our studios.
Yep.
I've got a. Yeah, shall I go through them?
Go for them.
Okay. Fender Custom Shop Esquire. So you see, it doesn't say Telecaster on it. That's because it's not supposed to have that pickup in it. Bridge pickup. But even the Custom Shop. So all of the Esquires have a neck pickup hole in it. So I put a Seymour Duncan in there, and probably at the moment this is my number one guitar. I've got. Put this up. Second is old Pinky, which is a 52 Custom Shop Telecaster. It's just like the lightest guitar you've ever.
It's made of balsa wood, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. It's just like, the thing about Custom Shop guitars are that they pick the best woods. So yeah, that's the reason why. And they do sound great. I'll do this quickly. Sorry, I'm a bit of a Custom Shop fan. This is a Custom Shop 60s Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, which is sounds great. I don't use Les Pauls, or I don't use humbuckers very much, so this guitar just comes out very rarely. Jazz bass, but I'm not going to talk about that. Just jazz, because it's a bass. Dan can do that. I've got another Telecaster that's in the house actually. That's a 62 Custom Shop, and this is a Friedman vintage T. The reason I got this is because it's got P90s on it. So if you want that sort of P90 sound, this is great for that. 62 Strat Custom Shop. Again, sounds brilliant. Now, I love my guitars to be relics because, and I know loads of people hate relics, but when you're doing a gig, or if I smack this now, it makes no difference. I don't care.
Is that actually the reason? So, because you haven't got to be careful with guitars?
Well, no, I am really careful, but I don't want to spend $3,500 on a guitar and then chip it and go, oh, what have I done? So it's great. They're workhorses. So that's that. And I mean, I can't show you the other Telecaster because it's in the house. It's being used as an ornament, actually. It's hung up on the wall. And last of all, a Brian Setzer, what's it called? Hot Rod Gretsch. Which is great because look, it's green, and then as on the back and the sides, it's a different.
Is that the most important thing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I loved it. I saw it, and no, the important thing is this. It's the old Bigsby on it, because nothing sounds like a Bigsby.
No,
if you
you're
want
right.
the sound, nothing sounds like it. And I mean, the Gretsch guitars, or the premium Gretsch guitars, the build quality is ridiculous.
Chris Isaac owes his career to a Bigsby.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He does.
Do you want a quick show and tell of my little guitar collection?
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
You've got some unusual ones as well.
Let's go on the Zoom cam because we can. Because we can.
Okay, so right, starting with the important stuff. My 89 Strat Plus removes the bin out of shot.
Do you know, that's probably worth some money now, that.
Do you know what? This guitar was one of those. I was in Denmark Street and I'd taken the guys. We had a gig in the West End somewhere, and we went guitar shop shopping just for a laugh. And I said to the guys, let's go and see how overpriced Denmark Street is. And this was on the wall, and I bought it there and then. I was after a guitar, a Strat with lace sensors forever, because it's that Clapton era 24 Nights guitar, and that's my fave Clapton.
I had one, and I thought it sounded brilliant. I thought they're really good guitars.
Yeah, love that. I have got this baby. So this is my telly. My theory was get a good one of everything. So
nice.
I got it's the 60th anniversary telly. It is an American one. It's a proper one. Got that one on my first ever NAMM trip.
Nice that.
That's my Les Paul. It's a Les Paul Studio. I hate bound guitars. I just do.
Do you?
Oh, I can't stack binding on guitars.
I always think a Les Paul looks unfinished unless it's got binding.
No, that's a fabulous guitar. They all need a clean. They all need a setup. My normal guy is about 150 miles away, and I can't get the guitars to him at the minute because I can't need them all at the minute. My first electric guitar
Go on.
was an Epiphone Sheraton, a 335 copy.
Ah.
I absolutely adore this thing.
I get a lot of questions about them actually on the channel.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant guitar.
Is it? Excellent.
Absolutely awesome guitar. I was going to go and buy an Aria or something really nasty as my. I was about 13, 14, and they had that, and I bought that instead. It was so much better. This thing is seriously cool. This is a 1960s Italian Echo. Now,
that's cool, isn't it?
That is a tremolo arm. Look at the state of that.
Look at that.
That is a tremolo arm.
Oh my word! Look at that.
Apparently, it's worth a couple of quid now. I paid 60 quid for it.
That's cool.
It's awesome. It's got the pickups are amazing. They're weird.
They look like Jaguar pickups.
Yeah, it's a really weird guitar, but
oh no,
it was 60 quid, and it sounds amazing. I've used it on so many kind of vintagey retro type recordings. Acoustic, got a couple of acoustics. I've got a Fender acoustic, which is actually my wife's technically. That's tuned Nashville tuning. You know what that is? It's all the other strings from a 12-string set.
Yeah. I used to do my guitars like that.
Yeah.
I used to have one acoustic like that. Yeah.
My Patrick Eggle acoustic, which is amazing. So much better acoustic guitar than I should ever actually own because it's fab. Behind this here light, there is a Boulder Creek nylon string acoustic, which is ace. Oh. My Patrick Eggle electric's hiding behind there somewhere. That's in a bit of a poor state at the moment. It needs a bit of TLC. There's a couple of basses in there. I've even got a banjo. I'm sorry, I have. And there's my my most recent musical purchase, which is a mandolin.
Oh, nice.
There you go. My entire guitar and string themed collection.
Brilliant.
That's not true. There's an Ovation upstairs as well, but I don't use it in the studio because I don't think anyone buys an Ovation to use it in the studio.
No, God no, definitely not.
Okay.
Okay. Focus. Yeah. So I've done that one. Jazz bass records beautifully. Yes. As a music man, yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree with Nato. Yeah. Okay. Andy Ground says if you load FX floorboard with your cat, there are a greater number of options for amp simulation. Always, there's a lot of chatter on the Katana Facebook sites about it. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Andy. I forgot the name of it. For me, I downloaded it and it worked for a bit, and then it didn't work. I think what Boss needs to do is get in contact with the maker of it, and they need to fix it, and they need to sort of sponsor it because it could be good. Hi Ryan. Hi Paul, love from India. Please do the video on the pink tone. Ah, right, yes. So I had a question, probably from you, man. So, can you explain what you mean by the pink tone?
Well, I'm not sure that's something for our level of YouTube. But hey.
Yep. Also, man, I think you also asked a question about the tuner in the Boss Katana. There isn't a tuner in the Boss Katana.
Is there not?
No, there's not.
Wow.
I can't. Yeah, surely they should use a little bit of DSP for it, but anyway, they didn't. For the Katana, do you like to stack overdrives with the boost channel you use? I tend not to. I tend to use the clean channel, to be honest. I think the clean channel sounds the best. It sounds the most. I think it's the most versatile. It's got the most tone to it. If you play the clean channel and then switch over to the crunch channel, all of the bottom end and all of the tone of the guitar seems to disappear for me. So that's why I tend to keep it on the clean channel. Take us through any guitars. Done that one. Also, how to connect external pedals on the Mark II. I've done a video on that, man. So that is on the YouTube, on the Studio REXX YouTube channel about connecting external pedals. I did one using the Rev, all the Rev pedals. Yeah, and they sounded great through the Katana.
They sound great through the great through the Rev amp as well, which you'd expect, really.
Yeah. Cheers, Mike and SP. Gilmore pickups. Yes, are the Gilmore pickups? And I guess EMGs were the Gilmore pickups, really, weren't they?
EMGs.
They weren't really lace sensors.
No, they were EMGs. When a couple of years ago, I was out in that America at NAMM, and there was in Guitar Center they had the Gilmore, not EMGs. Yes, the scratch plate. Just so you could take them off and put the scratch plate on. I thought I so should have bought it there and then, but
yeah.
I didn't.
EMGs get a bit of a bad. They've got a bit of a bad rep, and I think they sound great.
It would work so well for, because say one of my things when I was working for Avid, when I was doing the Avid thing, I got so many of that kind of, which of course you can't hear, but they can hear my 11 rack presets. My sort of.
What? I don't think that song was used in the EMGs.
No, probably not. But
yeah, it's good. Oh, it's such a great tone. It's always got such a great tone. What happened to the PRS Custom 22? I sold it to a really good friend of mine, Phil.
You already had that for about a week.
Yeah, I know. Again, I don't really get on with guitars with humbuckers. I've got the Les Paul because it's.
You need a Les Paul.
Yeah, you need something. This all might change, but yes, I think the PRS was great. It did sound really good, but a friend of mine, I lent it to a friend, and he was after a really nice guitar, so I let him have it. You should do a video on the acoustic channel of the Katana. Yes, that's a really good idea, Duncan. I haven't done that. There's an acoustic channel on the Katana, James.
That's quite clever.
Yes. I'll do that. SP says an Echo, long time no see. Yeah. I'm surprised that's still about. I mean, most of those Echoes are broken, haven't they?
Yeah, they've also been smashed up. That one.
Yeah.
He had two god awful Shure column speakers, a Sun amp, PA amp,
wow.
and that. And he said, do you want the whole lot for £100? I said no, but I love the guitar.
You should have taken the speakers. They're probably worth something now. My first guitar was an Echo 12-string, Mike says. Yes, I think I had one of those as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you could never get the action down. It's always like you could drive a bus underneath it. Seffi, I love my mid-80s Strat, but the frets are becoming worn. Do you refret your favourite guitars? If you've got a guitar that you love, then it's worthwhile refretting if the frets are worn. Without a doubt, don't just chop in the guitar because you'll regret it. If you've got a guitar you love, it's worth spending the money, and it is quite a lot of money to refret.
I was looking for this guitar for about 15 years. No one is this is one of those guitars that was on my bucket list, and no one's ever going to get it from me.
I've got a this guitar. This is my favourite acoustic. It's a better tune. And frets are really on their way out. This has been toured, and this has been played to death, this thing, so I need to get this refretted. So I'd never get rid of it because it sounds so good. It's probably the best sounding acoustic that I've ever heard, and yes, I need to get that refretted. So worth doing. What else? You got any more questions?
Oh, a few there, I think. Oh, that sounded expensive.
There you go. You get a new headstock as well now.
Okay.
James, go visit Charlie Chandler. Best setups in England. Do you know what? That's probably true.
Yeah?
Yeah. definitely. Charlie
Is he
Chan-
still
Charlie-
down in Twickenham?
No, he's the other side of Kingston Bridge, or was last time I was there.
Okay, but maybe I'll just drop them all into him and say, I'll see you some all in a week, because they could all do some serious TLC.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's great. I mean, he does lots of sort of top end guitarists and stuff. Yeah, he's really good. Also, please do a vid on guitar maintenance. That's a good.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
this stuff is your friend.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
Really?
I hate that stuff.
Oh,
God, it feels horrible.
No.
It feels horrible in the hands. His hands.
It feels
like a
weird
friction
for about 3-4 minutes, but now it makes it totally playable.
Ah.
And it also makes your strings last significantly longer because you don't end up... Run it down before you play, run it down after you play, and your strings do not rust anything like as much as they would do normally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice one.
There you go.
Okay. The Mark 1 has a tuner. Oh,
Well, there you go.
interesting. I didn't know that. I haven't got a Mark 1. I haven't tried the Mark 1. That's interesting. I wonder why they didn't put that on the Mark 2 then. Yeah, excellent. Duncan, I mean, with external overdrives for stacking overdrives, I'd have to go back and read your other question, Duncan, I'm afraid. So the plumes into the boost, EFX into the Katana. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah. I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at it. I did do a video recently where I did the tube screamer trick, which is where you remove all of the nasty sub bass frequencies out of heavy gain tones. So yes, I'll have a look at that. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea for a video. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, sounds great. That's the pink tone.
Hey, let's say the pink sound. I've got 2 presets on here. One is
Have you
called
got a pink tone?
I've got two Pink Floyd sounds on here. One is the obvious.
Pink Floyd tone.
Yeah. There's that one, and then I've got the. But the other one that everybody wants to get, and I appreciate I'm playing this on a Strat and not on a telly, is this one. That delay will go on for about a week.
Also, any suggestion on cleaning the frets? Yes, well, I'll do some videos on that. That's a good idea.
Lemon oil, isn't it? Or is it lemon oil for fingerboards?
Only rosewood.
Okay.
Definitely not on maple, or not on
this is
glossed fingerboards,
yeah.
whatever you call it. Yeah. I can't get NI Guitar Rig to work with Luna. Oh, that's interesting.
That is an interesting one. Could it be?
Why would that be? Have you got a guitar rig?
No, I don't. I'm sure I can probably blag one. Well, I used to be able to blag stuff. I probably still can.
Yeah. We'll have to have a look at that. We'll have a look at that, Christian. I'm not sure I've got guitar rig. I've probably got a license somewhere, so I probably need to dig it out and then have a look. I can't think why it wouldn't work. You're not trying to put it in the. No, I can't think. Yes, I'll have a look into that and I'll let you know. What brand was that acoustic? If it was my one, it was a Takamine, but it was one of the Japanese built Takaminis.
And if it was my one, it was a Patrick Eggle. He doesn't make acoustics anymore. Sadly, he went from making electric.
He does actually. He does.
Ah, Faith. Yes, Faith guitars are his. Yes, they are. But they're not hand built by him and a very small team of crack luthiers. They're made remotely.
Oh, this is great. So Mike Aiton says Hampton Wick, which is where Charlie Chandler's is.
Right. Okay.
SP says Katana has a tuner, but you have to press a sequence of 20 buttons to find it.
That's handy on a gig.
Is it actually? Oh, that's great. I'm gonna find that video. Thanks, SP. If you're not winding me up, because that might take me a bit of time to find out. Fast Fret is definite love-hate product. Yes, it is. Yeah, I completely agree.
The other stuff that someone showed me, I wonder if I've got it in here. It's not really a guitar product. I'm sure it's in my. There you go. If you try this stuff, this was given to me at a NAMM show.
I love NAMM. Oh, I can't believe summer NAMM's off. What's that?
Finger glide. You know when you get on a gig and you get all the grit and nastiness between your fingers?
You just brought out your lube from the bedroom.
This is basically, it's lube for guitarists.
Nice.
That was given to me by a buddy of mine at the NAMM show about 4 years ago, and you only need a tiny little drop to do all your hands, and it just makes you play nicer, makes it a bit easier.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice. Do acoustic guitar pickups belong in the studio at all? Definitely not, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, and you got a very impressive, James, I think for your jukebox skills.
Ah, well, that's always nice.
Do you use piezo pickups?
The only time I would ever do it is as a backup. If I had a singer-songwriter who was in, and they had a acoustic, they were recording acoustic and singing at the same time, I would record it as an emergency if I was getting too much vocal in the guitar mic.
That's a great tip.
That's the only time and then I would probably go through something like the Woodworks plugin that's in UAD, because it can make a very nasty, nasally piezo type sound into something totally usable.
Oh, excellent! That's a really good. Yeah, that's a really.
It's I can't remember who it's by, but it's called Woodworks, and it's an amazing.
Yes, do they still? Is that still on?
It's still current. Yep.
It's still there. Oh,
yeah.
Great. Okay. Do you watch any other guitar YouTube channels? Yes. Yes. Probably too many. Yeah, I watch loads actually. I watch.
Where does anybody get the time? It's the honest answer.
Well, it's just like, like when you're rendering a video or something, or you're giving your ears a break from mixing or something. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I quite like. I tell you who's amazing is the guy that tested out the guy that was the tester of the rev amps, and I can't think of his name, from Nashville, and he's a Nashville session guy, and he's amazing.
Oh, you love him, don't you?
Yeah, brilliant. Amazing player.
I know it sounds so cliched, and I ripped the you-know-what out of Paul for this, but you have to check out Tim Pierce's YouTube channel.
Oh, and Tim Pierce is amazing. He's just like he's just like this.
And he's a lovely human being as well. That's the really cool thing. He's not an absolute a-hole. He's a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah.
My dad has been trying to call me for the last hour and probably the last 2 hours since I was trying to put the kids to bed, and he will get the hint eventually that I'm busy.
Bring him on the channel.
No,
he can get involved.
No, just no.
Have you done a video on stacking the two delays in the Katana together? That's another great video. God, I'm getting some great ideas for videos. I'm running out of ideas, so thanks. How would you go stacking the two together? I haven't tried it, so as opposed to me saying, I'll do this and do that, let me do a video on it. And as opposed to speaking and just talking absolute rubbish. How do you set your channels up on the Katana? I've done a video on that. Have a look at the Ultimate Tone video. I think most of my sounds come from that, and then I build on that. But I hope that helps, Graham. Oh, okay. If you mean for live, okay. So yes, that's probably what it means. First channel is clean, really clean. Second channel has a little bit of drive on it for more sort of pick stuff. Third channel is a rhythm rock, sort of distorted, overdriven sound. And the fourth channel is lead. And I normally just use 4 channels if I'm doing a gig. But I don't often take it out for gigs, but if I do,
well,
yeah.
at the moment,
it's really
not much at all.
No gigs. What? No gigs. 87 channels. It's not working as an insert. I'm trying to think what that question was.
I'm trying to look back as well.
Yeah. If you don't mind looking back, any products and suggestions for polishing frets? How do you do at home? A really fine wire wool, but I think it's really
he's using
worthwhile.
Native Instruments. Not
well done.
As an insert, not working as an insert.
Yes, well, it should. That's exactly how it should work as an insert. I'm really surprised it doesn't work because all other Native Instruments.
I've
stuff
not
is
found
working.
any other instruments or stuff that doesn't work within Luna.
No, I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look just in case. Just make sure you've got the latest version. I think that's always the first thing you try, isn't it, James? Make sure you're up to date.
Latest version. Luna is very good for keeping you up to date with versions. Native Instruments, you need to log into their thing. I can't know what it's called. Hang on, what is it called? Looks on. No, that's Contact. Oh, whatever it's called. Their software thing. No, that's Isotope.
Yes, whatever it's called.
Who was that name?
Mike Aiton, just while you're looking at that. Tim Pierce, Rhett Shull, yes, definitely, those guys. I don't know who Bukovac is.
No, nor do I, but...
Phil McNally. Oh, Tom Bukovac is a much wash. Oh, I'll do that. I'll have a look at that. Thanks, mate. Thanks for taking up even more of my time looking at YouTube videos.
I think we've done pretty well, actually, mate.
Yeah, should we just do the last one? Has Boss ever contacted you? Yes, I speak to Matt Knight from Boss. Yes. Yeah, I've had a lot of people saying, why aren't Boss sponsoring your Katana content? I don't know, mate. Contact Boss and tell them, please. And yeah, I'd like them to. They probably don't sponsor it because I keep doing the videos. They don't need to sponsor it. That's probably what it is. I should probably stop doing them. Okay, I think I think we're done.
I don't think I've ever shut a call down so many times on one person in an evening.
Have you? Your dad, mate. Your dad's probably desperate to speak to you.
Nah, probably not.
Well, cheers for thanks for tuning in, guys. Hey, we've got 30. Why does this happen? Why do we get 32 watchers now and 10 at the beginning? This always starts at 8 o'clock, guys. So we're trying to do this every Wednesday. So yeah, start 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock sharp. Join us at 8 o'clock. So if you have any questions you want to get to us in advance, either comment on any of our videos, comment on this video, and we will do our best to get them into the next one. We're trying to think what we should do our next session on. We've done drums, we've done guitars. Maybe, Paul, we just have to bite the bullet and ask Dan if he wants to do bass. Bass. Yeah, we'll ask Dan. We'll get Dan in. Yes, and join the Facebook channel, the YouTube Facebook channel, and then you can put all your questions in there, and that will help us set up for the next Q&A. And say any and all ideas you have for content for us. Just let us know, and we will do our best to make it happen. Yeah, and any way we can improve stuff, just let us know. Maybe running the sound check a bit longer than we did this afternoon, perhaps. Yeah, possibly, yeah. But we got there in the end. We did. We did. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us. It's been nice. We had a nice time. Yeah, I've enjoyed myself, and we will hopefully see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and good night. Good night.